What if the most important part of a lightsaber was something you can barely see? Something connected to the Force itself. For decades, lightsabers have been one of the most iconic weapons in Star Wars. But here's the part many casual fans overlook. A Jedi doesn't simply build a lightsaber and put a crystal inside it. In a strange way, the lightsaber is built around the Jedi. And the secret behind that connection is the Kyber crystal. Every lightsaber needs one. Without a Kyber crystal, there is no functioning lightsaber. But Kyber crystals aren't ordinary crystals. They're rare, Force-attuned crystals found throughout the galaxy. One of the most important places connected to them is Ilum. For generations, Jedi younglings traveled there as part of an ancient tradition. But they weren't simply looking for the biggest or most beautiful crystal. They had to let the Force guide them. Imagine walking into a massive crystal cave surrounded by thousands of crystals. And somehow, one crystal calls to you. That crystal becomes connected to you. And eventually, it becomes the heart of your lightsaber. That's what makes a Jedi's lightsaber so personal. It's not supposed to be a mass-produced weapon. The Jedi designs the hilt. The Jedi develops the fighting style. And at the center of it all is a crystal connected to them through the Force. But then comes one of the biggest mysteries. Why are lightsabers different colors? Blue, green, purple, yellow, white, and of course, red. The simple answer isn't that every color represents one specific personality. The real story is connected to the Kyber crystal itself and its relationship with the Force. And one color has a particularly disturbing origin, red, because Sith don't simply find naturally red Kyber crystals and put them into their lightsabers. They can create that red color through a process called bleeding. A dark side user can take a Kyber crystal and force their anger, hatred, and pain into it. The crystal becomes corrupted, and that corruption turns it red. Think about what that means. A Jedi forms a connection with a crystal. A Sith can take that connection and violently change it. So when you see a red lightsaber, you're seeing more than just a different color. You're seeing the result of a Kyber crystal being corrupted by the dark side. But here's where things get even more interesting. If a Kyber crystal can be corrupted, can it be healed? Apparently, yes. Ahsoka Tano gives us one of the most famous examples. After obtaining corrupted Kyber crystals, Ahsoka purified them. And instead of remaining red, they became white. That's a fascinating detail because it shows that Kyber crystals aren't simply pieces of technology. Their connection to the Force can change. They can be connected, they can be corrupted, and they can potentially be purified. And this is also why famous lightsabers feel like more than ordinary weapons. Think about Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. It was used by Anakin, then Obi-Wan, later Luke, and eventually Rey. The people changed, but the weapon survived. Because of that, the lightsaber became a piece of history. Luke's green lightsaber tells another story. After losing Anakin's weapon, Luke eventually built his own lightsaber, and that represented something important. Luke was no longer simply the student. He was becoming a Jedi in his own right. That's what makes lightsabers so powerful as symbols. They're connected to the person holding them. And lightsaber combat isn't simply about swinging a glowing sword. Jedi use the Force to enhance their senses, anticipate attacks, and control their movements. Their emotions matter too. Fear can affect them, anger can affect them, impatience can affect them, and the dark side can twist those emotions into something dangerous. But here's the most important part. The lightsaber doesn't decide what happens. The wielder does. A Jedi can use the weapon to protect. A Sith can use the same kind of weapon to dominate. The weapon itself doesn't choose. The person holding it does. So, what is a lightsaber really? At first glance, it's just an energy sword. But hidden inside that iconic blade is a Kyber crystal connected to the Force. A crystal that can bond with a Jedi. A crystal that can be corrupted. And a crystal that can even be purified. That's why the lightsaber is so much more than a weapon. It's a reflection of the person holding it. Blue, green, red, white. Different colors, different journeys, different stories. So the next time you see a lightsaber ignite, don't just look at the blade. Remember what's inside it, because the real power of a lightsaber was never the blade, it was the connection behind it.
Want more Star Wars content? Subscribe to Seed Codex. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.